Yes,
Glad that was
while we
so
were on
slurred.
break, we broke every single Geneva Convention accord.
We committed heinous war crimes.
Yes,
Yes.
false surrender, which is somehow a war crime despite it being a valid battle strategy. Anyway, continuing where we left off.
That's a discussion for another time.
We murdered a newborn child.
Okay, no, shut up. Anyway, continuing off back at the house, we got Bagwell ready, and our other artificer, Adeben, ready for creating a facsimile, and everyone else is gathered around them. So if somebody can hit the music, that would be swell, too. Hello?
I don't know how to use.
Oh, okay. I thought it got
I
frozen.
don't use the bot either.
Give me a sec.
Yay.
I was just worried because sometimes what happens is my computer will just freeze entirely, and because running the Streamlabs takes a lot of CPU. I'm not gonna.
Oh
lie.
yeah.
I mean, at least my laptop's a gaming laptop, so it does pretty good. And I have it elevated on like a little stand, so it's got airflow. But it's like,
if I had to run it on this thing's like a Franken PC. All of the side panels are gone. It's just a bunch of metal.
I mean, the Streamlabs is more intense than my Skyrim running, and my Skyrim makes this PC like wheeze too.
You having any trouble there, Casper?
I think he died.
I clicked the thing, it didn't work.
Oh, we'll just continue. Christopher, get back here. I'll manifest it. I'll think about it. Anyway. You have all gathered in the Ventress's library. Stacks of large old books stand around you. Shira is uncomfortably close to you, Gilrock. However, Veitara looks like she's about to light her on fire if she gets any closer. You are also there, Damp Moss, and Shira is standing next to you, but you've been the nicest to her. Marion and Rook stand awkwardly in the background, and Sandeep is kind of tapping his fingers against his chin in deep thought. And what are Adeben and Bagwell doing?
Adeben is staring into the floor, and Bagwell is standing at the ready. So, Damp, if you want to explain what we need to do.
Yeah, what do we need to do? I wasn't there for that bit.
You know, that was me being the funny. Well, I explain what we need to do. He casts the spell, and what rolls would you need to be made to...
Well, before you do that, describe what spell you're casting and describe how it looks, please.
Okay. He's casting Fabricate. And it's basically just like out of the tattoos in his hands grows the material that the statue is made out of.
I need a wisdom save.
Wisdom save?
Yep.
From who?
I assume, are both Bagwell and Adeben doing this? Or is only one of them doing it?
I mean, I said it came out of the tattoo, so it's Bagwell. No,
Okay.
I mean Adeben.
Then Adeben needs to roll a wisdom save.
15.
You are blasted back with a force of energy as you make what are essentially just feet before you go careening like a rocket straight into Rook against the wall.
That looks, good.
The feet match perfectly, however, like as if building up from a 3D printer, it has stopped and you see uneven patches where it has ceased.
And it's strange how I didn't say he was making the statue, I was just getting the material.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just getting the raw material. The
Okay,
statue's
well, yeah,
made.
then you just make some orichalcum.
Yeah, and then he would move to a separate area.
Okay.
The other artificer to make the statue, so he would first take a look, go get all the measurements of the original statue, and then take all of the material over yonder.
Okay.
Over to, I guess, where the smithy is. We just say it's in the same room to make it easier. Then he would. Would there be anything that would do anything here? Not really. Enhanceability on Fox Cunning, advantage on intelligence checks to start molding this thing. Now I want to start making the statue. After getting
Okay.
into a room, having some sort of way to, help me out with it.
Well, so how detailed did you get with the measurements? You need to roll me an investigation. Please and thank you.
It's a 30.
Okay, you were extremely detailed. Well, you make a copy of the statue.
What? It gives it to you, Demos. To give you an update, Jai, they wanted to steal the statue, and I said to Chris, because Chris was like, hey, we could just, steal it. I said, we can also just make a new one.
Yeah, facts.
As you
That makes sense to me.
as you grab the statue, Dampmoss, I have no idea how Adeben picked it up to begin with. It is extremely heavy. The metal is as dense as solid copper.
I try to take it and immediately drop it down to the ground. On earth. I just lean closer and stare at your muscles like I must have missed something.
They're like, there's no definition of any muscle. Just spindly ass arms. What?
Right.
Well, you're staring. How did you manage to create? Did you just pull atoms out of the ground or something? Sandeep looks over at the orichalcum. How did you get this much orc copper?
I took a small sample of the original statue, and then I infused it with my natural, magical power. I transmuted it into large pieces of those same material, so minerals and atoms within that one speck. I recreated the ore.
All right. Well, we have it.
Yeah.
Which means...
Can I go now?
He kind of glances over at you. Was that really such an inconvenience for you?
No. I just don't want to be here.
Also, you're your own boss. I don't dismiss you. Sandeep looks at you, Damp Moss, and you can see his brow is furrowed and a scowl a bit at Adeben's action.
Oh, I wouldn't mind him too much. He's, not the best with people. I think he's wanted to leave for about the past 45 minutes now.
Well, we're a team. I don't know how many of us are going to go into the Black Road, but if I'm to understand anything about how it looks and works, we are going to be spending a lot of time together in close quarters without being able to be separated.
Your point?
Point being that anyone who comes with us is going to need to be able to deal with other people. We can't have people going rogue and acting inanely down there. The horrors of that place, and least to say even the part that isn't corrupted, is full of dangerous wildlife. I'm just ask Damp Moss about it.
Oh yes, there is quite a few. Well, in his case at least, I would presume this behavior would change when we're not in a safe environment, but you do make a very valid point, Sandeep, yes.
But I do doubt that we'd be allowed to bring a royal child into the Black Road, especially the one that's like a cripple, right?
That is part of the consideration. We're going to need to speak with that Alkios fellow if he is going to work as our guide and smuggler into the Black Road.
I'm not gonna lie, I think we should just use Damp's old one, because that Alkios dude's... I don't know if I want to do anything. He's the guide to, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean, right, Damp? That's the other Seder guy.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be on this thing that he guides, if you catch my drift.
He embarrassed himself once, and I can recognize the hesitancy, but before we write him off, Kiaaraa doesn't abide by incompetence. She wouldn't have kept him around if he hasn't done any. And if there's one thing I know, he says with gripping his fist tightly, it's her. Shakes his head. Regardless, these are discussions we can have over the coming weeks as we plan. He pulls up his robe, which has fur trimming on it, and steps outside into the frigid air, staring up at the snow that's falling down from the sky. What's the plan for the rest of the day?
Well, if no one has anything we need to do as a group, I was going to see if I could get any more work done on my arm. I've been doing my best to simulate the feeling of an attunement, though slightly different.
We have need of taking that statue down there, but that's not something we need to do today. And there was that thing about the graveyard, someone wanting to speak with us, but I don't know when we're supposed to do that. We could go now. We could try to find... Although I would assume we'd want to wait for the girls to show back up.
Most
I think we
definitely.
should plan. Lay a more secure plan, and also, I think the ones of the prophecy should have a little chat in private, and I grab Damp and go booga 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 out of the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Just okay, so we don't know anything, right? And the demons always seem to know something. They knew what the wedding was and how to get in and all that shit, right?
Yes, that's
Yes.
true.
So there's got to be. You see, I went to this place called LA, right? Again, and there's this thing called 70s cop shows. Time
I'm
flows
sorry,
differently.
why is the number relevant? Is there 70 of them?
No, it's a weird way they calculate time over there. Well, anyways, I watched.
Oh,
I ended up.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. It's like a time period. Well. Anyways, time flows differently there. So I was gone from here for like a night, which was about 2 weeks over there. So I watched like at least 2 seasons of one of them. And when
Seasons? You were there for that many months?
No, okay. So like they call it seasons when there's like a collection of. It's like a play, but it's not with the real people. It's like, you know how
Oh, so how they
make
would perform the play 12 times a season,
Yes.
then
Yes.
if there is 12 of them, they consider that a season? That seems
Yes.
quite backwards to me, but I suppose.
Well, it's not always 12. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. But no, well, I digress. Nonetheless, anyways, in these they have like mysteries like this, and in this case they always say the same thing. There's a mole. We have a mole.
You found a mole? What district is it from? Is it a winter variant or?
No. It's a word of phrase. It means we have a spy.
Oh, like we have a rat.
Yeah.
Right.
That would actually mean you talk to the cops, but no matter.
The you know what? Never mind.
But anyways,
So-
we have a spy. There's somebody
Who
who must be
do
listening.
you think it might be? The one that eats
Well,
fingers, the
maybe
one that you're
the-
dating, the one wearing a mask, or perhaps the one that appears all the time out of nowhere and seems to know every secret about everyone they've ever met. I
Yeah.
wonder which one it might be.
If I'm not lying to you, I think it might be the one who, for some reason, prefers living like a tick on my bum.
Oh, right, yes, the one that for some reason decided
one-
to show me that they're capable
You don't
of
have
infiltrating
sufficient
anywhere they want
motive to
at
say
any
that
time.
because she does know
We have-
everyone.
we have
Let me finish.
we
Let me
have-
finish my sentence, please, first before you say what
Okay.
you're gonna say. The Orb Weaver's daughter has also demonstrated she literally knows everything about all of you. Yeah, Shira acts like a bitch, but like the Orb Weaver's daughter would be equally suspicious in this situation.
Okay.
Just being clear.
Counterpoint. All Weaver's daughter has not been with us for as long as Shira has,
Yes.
and the demons have acted in a way meaning they knew what we were doing for a lot longer than we've known the All Weaver's daughter. We met her recently. We've known Shira for a long while. She's one of the few things that entered after and before shit started hitting the fan. So based on the people at this compound, she's one of the most reasonable to be distrustful of, because we have no reason to trust her. She came out of nowhere and said, "Hey, I'm the Orb Weaver's daughter, the master of secrets."
She's a servant, but yes. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, the Orb Weaver's servant. So I think there's reasonable reason.
And the Orb Weaver's
doubt
daughter
her.
has confirmed that she is their servant. I'm
yeah,
just saying.
still.
I mean,
He
you
feels pretty
you can continue.
distrustful
That's a
of
fair
Orb Weaver.
counterpoint. You can continue now. I just wanted to bring up.
So I'm just thinking maybe we should have a little chat with Sandeep and be like, "Hey, you're gonna say all of your plans in front of everyone about things we're doing like right now. Trying to save
Yes,
the world."
I think that might be a good idea. And
It's like,
I do distinctly remember us being more suspicious of her before. So when did that change exactly?
you started offering her tea and she suddenly thought we were besties. Every time she shows up, I tell her to fuck off, but she still acts like we're best friends. I don't get it.
I think I've missed people too much. That may have gone over my head.
Yeah, mayhaps, but okay, who else could be a potential? I guess Farion, although he just kind of seems really into eating fingers.
He does seem to have his certain vibe quite
Yeah.
down to a T.
He doesn't really seem to have any malicious intent. He just kind of seems like he wants to eat extremities.
To be fair, again, we met them much more recently than many of the things that have gone wrong.
True, that's true. Rook? I mean, Rook talked to me. yesterday. I forgot to tell you. He,
You mean,
actually
like,
voice.
verbally?
Yes. So he said that I'm like now part of his like inner circle thing. He like honors, views me as a good enough friend to talk to.
Well, that's actually incredibly wholesome.
Yeah, it is, but still, we've never seen his face. He did kind of just show up out of nowhere.
Well, actually, didn't we show up to him?
Well, yeah, true. The gods, okay, yeah, the gods did kind of drop us on top of him. But the gods works in mysterious ways. Maybe they meant for us to catch him, and they wouldn't give us
I
credit.
would think that would be an oversight that even they wouldn't fall to.
Come on, kind of leans in, looking above. Do you kind of do those things a lot?
What did you say? I need to make sure if you need to roll a whiz save or not.
It just says that they do kind of goof up a little bit, a lot. They do kind of do have a lot of mishaps.
I just, without moving my head, glance to the sky. Do I
Yeah.
see any weird clouds?
No,
Sure,
you don't. They're not, because they kind of have goofed up a little bit. Even they know they've goofed up a little bit.
I just look right down. Well, I suppose that is true, but I don't think they would be that stupid, right? That's a little far.
You see, as you start saying those words, go up his head like, "Stop! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!" Like, you can't use those words. Well, yeah, I guess. Okay, so Shira, pretty sus. That's enough. That's another word that I also learned. It's like short for suspicious. Sus.
Oh, right, yes, because it's the first three letters. That's ingenious.
Because it appears.
I
This
hate
is one-
this so much. I love
Gilrock
it.
comes close to Davos, puts one of his fingers and like taps for each word. Says, "We have an imposter among us."
We have an imposter among us.
Yes.
Well, that is very sus.
Yeah, it is. But who else could be sus? We can't just put all the eggs in a basket.
Well, we've met a fair few people at a specific point in time when we went to the witches area. We met young Bagwell there along with the others, so I would presume it wouldn't be any of them.
Probably not.
Unless, of course, it's someone that hasn't come with us, but that would be in poor choices
I feel like
if
we
they
would
were
have
trying to get
noticed.
information.
I feel like we would have noticed by now if somebody had been following us for the past like 4 months. Though I feel like at least one of us. We've been surrounded by so many powerful people. I feel like at least one would have been like, "Hey, there's a guy watching you 500 meters from here."
Unless, of course, they have been with us the entire time and they are someone that we trust. That would be the worst case scenario.
You're saying we gotta kill Farron.
I place my hands very seriously on your shoulders. I think we might have to.
It must be done. Let's talk about
Fuck off.
Well, enough of the jests. At least we're both aware that there is most likely a mole
Yes.
that is very sus.
That's
So we should
true.
keep our eyes peeled.
Yeah, otherwise we gotta report a meeting.
Yes, get all of our crew together.
Yeah, indeed. It's all like we could call it like the cruise ship. The place
Shut
to
the
but okay, again, we gotta look at. I mean, maybe Sandeep. It is a bit weird to go from being like, I am big crime boss in big city to be like, oh no, I feel so bad, and be reformed in like a day or two, isn't it?
Well,
It
I
is a
would
bit
say
weird.
that, but you saw how much snot and tears were running down his face when he talked about it earlier. That's hard to act.
I don't know. I can cry and command myself. He starts crying. See?
Yes, but he was bawling like a baby.
Yeah, but
I
all
mean-
you gotta think about it's like something really sad. I don't know. As an act to myself, I could fake that.
Well, I suppose that I act about as well as a tree, so I wouldn't be the best judge of that.
Well, we hear the ding-ding-ding. Elemara's back. We should probably talk to her. She's probably smarter than both of us when it comes to this.
Yes.
Oh, but I would be warned, her brain has probably fried out through her ears if she's been shopping with Vanessa.
Even better, she'll be more inclined to answer personal questions.
That is a good point. Let's go.
What are you doing to my baby?
We slam through the doors.
Taking what we can.
Yeah, the girls have arrived back in the main hall. Omar, did you have fun? They took you out to lunch, talked about some girl stuff, girl hours.
Mm-hmm. I need to make a check for Not one. Okay, cool. Yep.
Nice.
She gets way too comfortable with them and gets pretty much flirtatious. All instinctive. She
Okay.
doesn't even realize she's doing it.
You're bad. The Orb Weaver's daughter hits your shoulder after some comment you've made. Vanessa's kind of just quiet. She looks a bit uncomfortable.
Oh, you bring out the good side of me, I guess. Kind of rubs the back of her head. This was really nice. It was so needed. It's nice to just be able to just talk to people.
Oh well, I do agree with that. It's lovely. I'm glad somebody actually cares about my plans for my wedding once this whole prophecy is fulfilled and Damp Moss and I can tie the knot. Hopefully Sarah's back by then. It's just gonna be weird because I suppose Sudius will walk me down the aisle. But I love Torrin so much. He means the world to me. That's what you hear as you walk in, Damp Moss.
I tear up a little bit and just start to melt inside.
Elemara.
Yep, uncharacteristically big grin on her face. I imagine there's stuff to report, and work comes back. Thank you, ladies, so much for such a good time. We should do this again at some point.
No problem. The Orb Weaver's daughter kind of gives you a light, playful smack on the butt, and Vanessa smiles and bows.
Alright, that shit is reciprocated. Whop! That's what she just
Yes.
did. Fuck me.
Ooh.
Elmara and Gilrock, in your heads, you hear, well, Elmara, me and Gil think that we should probably have a bit of an emergency meeting. We just wish to discuss the possibility of a sus imposter.
What the fuck did you... I say this out loud. What the fuck did you just say to me?
Oh, Gil's been teaching me a bunch of new words from L.A.
What is in LA?
So
We'll
Elemara,
get to it later.
Elemara, I'm glad you asked. Have you heard of the city of Angels?
Oh, for fuck's sake, here we go.
City of Angels.
Yes, the city of Angels.
You actually have Elmara. It's called Celestia. It's the realm where the gods live.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you heard of the city of Angels?
Yeah, the Celestia. What does that have to... Don't tell me they're deciding to get involved now of all times.
Puts his finger on your lips.
Don't fucking touch me.
No. This is an even better place.
I screamed on black. Okay.
This is Los Angeles. Where all
You
the
mean
dreams-
Lost Angels?
Sure. Where all dreams can come true. There's a bunch of failed actors over there, Elemara. It's incredible.
Is this in your mind or is this out loud? I just want to be.
This is out loud.
Changla looks over and then looks at you, Damp Moss.
Gilrock got turned in the morning.
I just look back at him with a, if you want to open a bag that's incredibly deep and long-winded, go ahead.
Okay,
Right.
so basically,
Keep it short. What's the point? Why are you telling me this?
oh,
Do you want to say this
That's-
inside, or I thought y'all wanted to?
this isn't correlated to anything. Come with us. So, Elemara,
Yes.
we may have a sussy imposter.
What
They're
does-
talking in my head. I'm doing the thing where I make like a chat group in our heads. That's what's going on.
Okay, so we think we may have a rat, or like may have some sort of mole
Okay.
that is feeding information to the bad guys.
All right. Who do you think it is? Oh, better just I have to put this out there. That mouse. I am so sorry for the way I've acted. It's been a very long time since I was able to let loose and just hang out with people who are just. I miss home a lot. Anyway,
If you mean hitting on my fiance, that's completely fine. Don't worry about it.
I've literally sacked her ass right in front of you. You're okay with it? Good. All right. That's out of the way. Oh, okay.
This guy's literally fucked somebody else in front of her.
I just turn and look at Gilrock like, when the fuck did I tell you that?
You've been drunk so many times, honey. Well, anyways, Elemara, back on track. The one we're most suspicious of right now is Kiaaraa, just because she's the one with least personal connections to the group. She's just kind of this random stray that came into our lives and was like, "Hey, bitches."
Oh, and she has a
I'm
habit
here
of, well, we thought turning invisible, but it turns out becoming very small and attaching herself to us so that she can follow us unnoticed.
Yeah, she has the tendency of disappearing right before the bad guys show up.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I don't quite know what to do with that though. Like, I thought with you, I figured you knew like military stuff.
One second. No metagaming. You need to include the other people you're suspicious of, Gilrock, as you mentioned.
Okay. Who else did I mention?
Well, we also thought possibly Sandeep because
Yeah,
quite a rapid change from villain to hero, but
she did go from like a criminal overlord.
however, I have seen his memories, and I do have to say, there is a deep regret there.
Didn't Laren have like a moment earlier this week where he like looked at Kiaaraa and she looked weird?
Oh, well, I did see, I believe it was a Scorial, and... Oh, what was the name of their sibling that works well with constructs?
Oh, I don't know.
Adeben. Ah, I did see those two with, some sort of strange... It looked sort of like a feline, large. And they put it in an orb and then teleported away with it, which is odd.
Maybe it's the siblings?
Well, I
Yes?
suppose perhaps, but
What do
I
you
wonder
think
where
of
they
that?
got the creature from.
What do
Right.
you reckon, Elemara?
Well, let's focus on one subject at a time then. If you think they are suspicious, which I would agree with both your sentiments about it, a one-on-one conversation in a casual format would be best. We can't go on interrogating people. That's how we lose allies and get kicked out of places we want to be in. So we have to be subtle about this. Be careful. Look over to Moss. Moss, this is your estate. You have more of a right than anyone else to question people. But please don't do it directly. Just start a casual conversation and bring up things that you think would tick them.
She does trust me the most. I can simply offer her some tea and it would be normal.
You
And
also
I-
used to
Do happen to be able to read minds.
you're also used to your own you know who you did have to albeit a bit easily trick into some accidental revealing of her plans.
Oh yes, well, she is arrogant and... Let's leave it at that. Yes, I think it should be fine. I'll just traipse through the top of her thoughts without probing and see if anything I mention seems to ring a bell.
You want to be careful. And when in doubt, cover your steps.
Oh, of course. I may not be the best at lying, but I'm quite good at pretending to be someone else.
Right.
I'm pretty good at that.
If she catches on and she acts as violently, put her down.
That would be the plan.
Good. Got on the same page on that. And I'm not too familiar with this other one, what was her name again?
And deep?
Yeah, that one. Who?
Ah,
That's
he
a-
is,
that's
Is he still stood over there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's smoking a joint. standing against the wall.
Is that
Make
guy
it
smoking
obvious, but
that?
it's the very
Is that
bright
guy
gold
smoking-
person stood over there.
Is that guy smoking that fat doobie right there?
Oh, the one who gave up a vast fortune to be here.
Yeah, the one
Indeed.
who used to be like a mafia boss. But then he apparently grew a conscience and was like, "Oh no, all the children I've orphaned," and then he ran away with us. I don't know if I quite buy it. It seems like a big sudden change of heart.
Sure. Right. I had a conversation with him before. I'll have another one with him. You leave him to me. If he needs to die, I'll make it public.
He did used to be a torturer in a cult. Give you a little addition as to why he's a little sus.
Well, I used to be a torturer in a cult.
Well, you didn't technically used to be a torturer. You used to be a slave. I feel like that's different to that, Damp.
Oh, I suppose agency versus making your own decisions.
Like he chose a job that he got paid for. You did it, or they flayed you alive. Oh hey, Sidious.
Hello, I made everyone cookies.
Good evening. Very nice to see you.
I'll take a cookie, thank you.
Yeah, I'll
Are
take it.
Are they those cinnamon crunch or the double chocolate chip?
Well, Damp Moss, I've made a combination. He smiles at you. I'm trying to think of new recipes as well. I've been baking some experimental cakes for preparing for when Vanessa and you can get married. Even though that's 2 years off, I want to make sure I have it just perfect.
I just give him a big warm smile. Well, I would love to taste them.
You can't taste it before the wedding. That would ruin the surprise. But you can have a cookie. He'll hand you a stack of 3 cookies, and then he will hand Elemara 10 cookies, and Gilrock he hands you a whole separate tray just for you. I know this one has an appetite.
I nibble one, I hand one to Olivia, and then I break the other one into small pieces and sprinkle it onto the spider web that Fuzzball sleeps in.
I eat it. I eat the tray.
The metal tray?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Or just the entire tray of cookies?
All of it.
Okay.
The tray.
Yeah.
Julius kind of
You hear
stares
metal
and
rending noises.
Gilrock, I need a
That was great.
strength
That was
check to see if you can even try to do that.
I'm gonna bardic inspire myself.
Okay.
Just the mindless goat. Oh my god, you're gonna break a tooth.
He does. You chip it.
Wait.
Okay.
It's a 10.
You chip a tooth as you
Oh,
bite down
shit.
on metal.
I didn't notice the tray. Oh well. Anyways,
I
It's
actually
fine.
grab you by the ear. That's enough of the plates and trays in my house. Thank you very much.
hey, I get hungry.
He ate
okay?
my special plate. Sudius
No, I
gasped.
didn't.
Well, damn, Moss
you
just
gab.
ratted your ass out.
Gift of gab.
Okay.
Sudius, the last thing you heard was hey, Sudius, I think you should leave.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt anything private. I'll continue.
Don't worry about
Sandeep,
it.
I have cookies for you.
Don't rat me out, bro. What the fuck? I'm gonna stop eating. If you rat me out, I'm gonna keep eating plates in your house. But
I
anyway,
just turn that seems it would fuck you over.
well, anyways, Damp, as well, I was gonna talk to you. I thought we could bring on Marcus. I don't know, just based on points to your whole armor and aesthetic. Your vibe seems the closest to this. I take the bag of holding, I pull out the Book of the Dead that we got ages ago. Should we try this on your girlfriend? This thing? See if we can do some funky shit.
I look down at it. Can I flick through it?
Yeah.
Maybe let's not do it right here. in
Roll
the
me a
open.
wisdom save if you try to flip through it, just FYI.
Yep, I
What?
try and flip through it. Let's see.
Why? Body is.
Okay. What's your inspiration D10?
10.
I will use that.
I go.
Ooh, beautiful. What's that?
22.
22.
I'm dying. Ooh.
You'll die.
No, I just started coughing really hard. Did you not? I'm on camera. I was like,
I heard the beginning of the cough. I can't have that camera.
I didn't hear that, so all I heard was I'm dying. So I was like, is that what Dan Pearson's mind as he restarted? Just his
Nope.
will go, I'm dying.
So what happens? You see unspeakable understandings of the afterlife and reincarnation and cyclic things that are basically almost incomprehensible to you. You manage to stave off just because of how much you've already seen in life from just obliterating your mind. But you can't. Do you know Celestial?
No.
You can't read it to begin with. B, it's kind of very difficult to read, as you would imagine.
Okay.
The images that flash through your head are basically horrific and show judgment and an understanding of the workings of the gods that no mortal should probably have.
From this glimpse, the only thing I would be trying to glean from it while doing this, does it appear to have exclusively like the typical necromantic type stuff where it would be ghouls and zombies and false resurrections, or does it appear to have anything that would return a soul to a body without
No, it has.
some
This
disgusting
is an
torturous-
advanced. This is a tome of one of the three gods that rule over death. You're not sure which one because you cannot read Celestial.
I think I like flick through, see it's horrific and that I can't read it anyway, and just sort of snap it closed in my hand.
Jai,
Yeah.
as you're looking at it, reading it, not understanding a fucking thing, I say a little prayer for you.
Okay.
Comprehend languages. You can read it. I cast comprehend languages on you.
Okay. Then, can I do that 22 with the concept of I can now read Celestial?
Well, no, you'd have to reopen the book, but now you can read the cover of the tome, which says, "The Tome of Casio, Master of Undeath, and one of the three judges of the afterlife." Very
so
man to
since
the
it
dead.
is Master of Undeath, would I recognize if this will be useful for my purpose?
You say it out loud.
Elemara is also standing there, so like Elemara can read the cover too. Just FYI, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
The message I do say it out loud, like Casio.
It will be in your head, yeah, but yeah.
Wouldn't that like work with how your girlfriend's like soul is like in that shell? She hasn't gone to the ferryman yet, so if you like look in there, see if there's a way you can make a deal for him to send her back, I don't know.
It would be worth a read regardless, I suppose. Though the first time I attempted without the ability to understand it, it was quite difficult. I'm more than willing to give it another go, but something felt as if it was pulling at threads. I'm not quite sure I want to be unraveled.
No, that's probably a safe thing to do. We should leave this to somebody who's far more qualified than considering.
For now, however, back in the bag of holding, I think.
Having their mind fucked with, but damn. He had an arm connected to him that was like invading his brain for half his life.
Well, I suppose that's
I
true. I am quite
seriously
resistant to
think-
brainwashing now.
Damn. I take out Ring of Mind Shielding. Here, you can try this on as well if you wanna. I think you're the one who has the highest chance to beat this. Because technically, Rob, if he does a whiz save, doesn't he get like a +4 bonus from you since you're a paladin?
Yeah, +5. And yep, because I exist.
You have a +13.
Okay, then in which case I push back your hand and pull out my own Ring of Mind Shielding that you gave me in the first place anyway.
So I couldn't have given you one because that would have been mine.
Well, yeah, then I slip it back on my hand.
You do a magic trick. You just do a little and the sound.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. What do you do?
And I will
Bardic inspiration.
give it another shot. Bardic
Just get
Inspiration plus
high as
Ring of
possible.
Mind Shielding, plus I'm immune to both Charm and Frighten. And plus the +5 aura. Let's see. I'm glad I have a bunch of extra shit.
Okay, so that's 22.
22 plus your d10?
Yeah. Can you cast guidance?
It's 24.
That doesn't work on a save.
Oh, true. 24 ass. But anyways.
Better than last time, at least.
All right. Yeah, you still have to deal with horrific visions and eldritch knowledge that's very, regardless of who.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
it would. I mean, yes, it's Casio, but imagine being an immortal being with the power over life and death. It's still something that's very hard for a human brain to try to wrap around.
It's Casio's shopping list.
You see visions of how to create, because Casio is the god of good undead, so how to create sentient zombies, vampires, revenants, not a lich, but something similar. He says working title, IDK, I'll figure it out later.
A lich, but good.
Yes. And then there's like a whole section that's just full of like bad knock jokes.
Nice.
Because he's also the god of trickery.
Is there a section on communicating with a soul that hasn't got a body?
Yes. There is a section
Lovely.
on seance.
Okay. Then I would focus on the most powerful of the, in air quotes, good undead that I could, in theory, create, and the seance section. And I'll also just make sure I skim read a couple of knock jokes. Just help reduce the flashing imagery of death and eldritch unknowable knowledge.
Yes.
I read a little bit from the top. Can I try and see if I pass that?
Yeah, you can.
Yay. Would this be a magical effect?
It is a magic effect.
So I have advantage. Yes. That's 22. Hey, I managed to read it.
+5.
27.
Oh my god, Elmara, you feel nothing. You're basically like looking at a normal book for you, despite what...
Can you read Celestial?
Yes.
It would have been really funny if you couldn't. Of course, you'd be fine reading it. You're just like, oh, it's a bunch of words. Yeah,
Barrage had a bunch of weird ass words, bruh.
You see a bunch of body humor and crude knock jokes.
Elemara comes in at the page where it just says, "Yo, mom was so fat." Jarber had to go around her twice.
Jesus. Yep, shuts out a few chuckles. That book's actually really funny.
I like my hand shaking, flicking from the page previous to the knock jokes. I just look up at you horrified.
Yeah, I got a couple of jokes as well. Imagine that we found this next to like a prophecy. Yeah, we found fucking Casey's joke book.
Well, it's his
Yes.
basically
Just
manifesto.
jokes.
Are you okay, Dab? And don't
So-
try to lie to me, you're terrible at
You
this.
see,
So-
like, the iris on the left-hand side of my eye, the side that I have the right-hand side, sorry, that I have the blood tattoo on, just, like, my iris unfurls slightly into a tentacle before returning to normal after I blink. Oh, yes, quite good.
Well, not only that, all of a sudden you see one of Dam's eyes starting to turn a milky white before flashing back to normal and flashing to a milky white like the god Casio himself.
Hey, buddy, I think you should put the book down.
Oh, no, I feel quite fine, and I keep reading,
No.
because I can't tell.
Roll
No,
the Arcana check to see if you find the information you want to just real quick.
Okay.
I'll
this
let
is
you
what
get
we
the
want.
roll,
Come on,
but
roll
then
up, roll up.
I cast command on you
Damn it.
to
13.
say drop.
As you are reading the spell on how to create how to imbibe a soul with a new body in the form of a revenant, the book shuts on you, and you are commanded to drop.
To So you need to give me a
my
whisk save.
thumb.
It's a whisk save if you want to try and resist it.
So did the book slam before he told me to drop it?
No, it would only be if Gilrock successfully does the thing.
Okay.
So roll the whisk.
DC 22 whisk save. At disadvantage for silvery bobs.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you fail.
That's still even with the +5.
It closes and drops.
I look at you like a very stern mum.
What? I'm fine. I lift out the mechanical arm. I'm not even shaking, see? I glance down at the other arm that's shaking violently. Oh, shit.
And also, damn, I pull out a mirror, show you little tentacle eyes. You're about to go full Cthulhu on us.
Well, not only that,
like-
one of your eyes is basically like turning glassy. Like you've seen Casio before, so you know what it looks like.
You start to look like a motherfucking Casio.
I, pull down the eyelid on my right eye to get a closer look. Oh, that's intriguing and also horrifying. I, cover one eye, then cover the other. Do I actually have worse vision, or is it just it almost was bad?
I mean, it almost was bad, but it's actually fading now.
I don't think you should be holding that book for extended periods of time.
Well, it's all right. As it slammed on my hand, I folded the corner down so I know what page the spell I need is on.
I love how nobody's reacting to the fact Elemara had zero reaction to this holy art.
I'm gonna casually pick it up.
I mean, to be fair, Will, based on our experiences with Elemara, she hasn't been phased by a single thing.
True.
We've been attacked by everything, and she's just been like, "Y'all some bitches. Listen to me right now," and then just taking hold of the entire situation in seconds. There's no reason Gilrock and Dad would be like, she's gonna be scared of this book. We probably think she wrote it.
I just watch you pick it up. You look fine, but I would just recommend caution.
Just open it. I'll just pick up where you left off.
Yep, it's a spell describing the necessary items to create a functional revenant. One of them is the original bone/corpse, and a bunch of herbs, spices to create a potion, rare items, as well as a diamond that must be pounded into fine dust.
Not the only thing that will be if she's back. So
I hate you
I
for
noticed
that.
something about requiring flesh or the bones. Would perhaps a magically imbued portion of their blood work from what you're reading?
Dusk.
Well, it doesn't tell you. It just says the book does not answer that question. It's too vague.
What did the book say?
It says the spell is written as, with the combination of flesh and bone, a diamond pounded to dust, a mixture of saffron, cannabis, castor oil, and sulfur, mixed together and filtered through only the finest water created from those of the purest heart, can one revive a body which has been deceased for over 1,000 years and return it to the state of being a revenant as if they were alive. This person will live forever, however, until their life is taken again.
Damn. I don't think this will work, though. Sarah has been dead for over a millennia.
She also...
Well, she's been dead for less than that time, so it's actually good.
Oh, so less than was
yeah.
the... Oh, okay, you said over 1,000. Okay, that's fine then. Well, I believe the main issue would be requiring bones or flesh, as the last time I saw her, there wasn't an awful lot of it left.
Well,
I'm sure there's a prison yard we can go and grab someone who's on death row.
Did it specify that it had to be?
Yes, it has to be the person in question. It has to be someone.
Damn.
And the ending for Damp 0.5 is, you know that her leg was utterly destroyed. She got cut into pieces. You don't know where all of them went, but Rissensef at least ate some of her body.
Mm-hmm. And I barely managed to get some blood, so...
Yes.
That be?
Yes, sorry, I was zoned out.
You decide if you want to show Elemara. You can do it right now. Didn't Sadiq give you a coin? Could you ask Saren right now if they kept some of her?
I wouldn't mind being in a position of absolute power over him, but I suppose it is the best shot we have.
We're gonna need to have a team meeting where we can discuss everything we as a group can do. Because this is
Yes.
news to me.
I believe just after breakfast isn't the best time for these sorts of things.
Well, it's been most of the day. You're in the afternoon now. So,
okay,
like,
that's
yeah, people are just kind of milling about. Rook is gonna go hang out by himself, and other people are
Well,
just.
perhaps after dinner this evening, when Rook has returned, we shall all have a slightly more serious discussion in a smaller group than is currently staying at the household. Perhaps just the four of us.
Are you good at calling out lying, Elemara?
What'd you say?
Elemara, are you good at calling out hidden messages? So reading between the lines of what people say?
Discerning people's body language and gestures out here in the material world is very different from where I'm from.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be physical, like body language. It would be because Damp has his
Who
coin.
the fuck? What did you just call me?
Sorry, I've been to another dimension. I've seen the real you.
That's no, you haven't.
I talked to Steek about the coin that you have. Since it has Zaren's coin, soul trapped in it, you can ask it a question whenever you feel like, telepathically, and it must answer truthfully. But it only answers in a sentence or two, so it can be as cryptic as it wants, as long as it's true. Which is why, if you
Oh, well, I
ask
just
it,
corner him with the question then.
I don't think it can technically be cornered. I don't know about. I don't know.
Well, I will
It's
ask him yes or no questions, and if he finds a way around that, it'll actually be quite impressive.
Yeah, I guess.
Wait 1 second. A yes or no question can be answered subjectively. If you say, "Can this person be raised as a revenant?"
I will give
he
you
might
an
say
example.
no.
Is my previous lover Sarash's body kept in a specific location, or was it disposed of? He must answer with one of the two options I have given. If the answer is that it still exists, then I will ask where specifically, and, well, if he finds a way to dance around the question of where specifically it is, then again, quite impressive of him.
But the thing is, he just has to answer truthfully. He doesn't need to be specific. You can say it's a place far west and deep underground, because it's
Then-
technically far west and deep underground.
If he decides that, as he has done for all of his living life, that he's going to make it as difficult for me as possible, then he must remember that he is trapped in a coin that I can ask an infinite number of questions of, that he must answer all of which truthfully. Let's see how long it takes. I have time.
Damp. If he proves to be very difficult, why not just take a map and just mark off every single location he says no to, and eventually you'll find out through raw attrition.
Well, that would be, the last case scenario, but definitely in the plans. As I was saying, though, perhaps we prepare for dinner, take a few moments to each to ourselves, and reconvene with Rook after dinner.
Yes. It sounds
Perhaps
like a good idea.
Farron as well. I believe he would be best to hear this.
Are you gonna conduct any of your interviews of the people you thought were sussy bakas?
I think it would be best to leave that till after we've filled
Yeah.
everyone that we want to fill in on.
Yes.
Just make sure everyone's on the same page before we start interrogating our teammates.
Well, I mean, it's not an interrogation, like Rob said, but fair enough.
Yeah. Air quotes, yeah.
But while you're doing that, the person who actually is the sussy baka is going over the fence, because you can't see her, to go chat with her disciple. What's the word?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's me. Hi.
Hello. What happened?
Out of character. I gotta remember what the hell there is to report. Right. So, a bunch of those individuals, parts of the mansion, are going over to the Winter Ball. So, I was out there getting clothing, so that maybe a public display of humiliation might get into the mind of that tiefling lady thing, Big Tail. What was her name again?
Elemara.
That, yes, thank you. All these discussions are getting in my head. Yeah. So I see an opportunity. If we are able to, let's just say, make sure that Elemara is the center of that show, we could destroy her mentally and maybe instill some distrust amongst the group, cause people to reach out to other friendly, pretty individuals that might want to, help them out in a time of need. Give them a shoulder to lean on. And with the shoulder that is leaned on, they can get into the pockets of the moss.
Yes.
So that I can steal his shit.
Of course. The question remains, we don't want to ruin the Winter Ball. We have the Scroll of Hyperia right now, thanks to your and, of course, that idiot Blaine's valiant actions. He puts in air quotes. Even though we have a bit of an issue with the fact somebody got away. We're 3 steps ahead of them right now, and I plan on keeping it that way to the best of my ability. What do you think of it? What do you want to do to embarrass them? Because I have no plans on sending any of the demon lords to mess up this event specifically. Varanasi is working on her crystal infection of the underground parts of the city and creating that army. And I, frankly, would rather have that go well, and if it doesn't, I get to keep my position here as the broker of information. After all, tricking a god is much more fun than just standing by myself. He kind of says, folding his arms in this female tiefling form as he leans back against a tree.
Alright, so, my lord, how about something subtle, right? Maybe word gets around the city that there's a warlord amongst them. Someone has a history of violence and murder and, enslavement. It doesn't have to be true, but something that would cause a lot of ruckus if they showed up in such a noble event. Because it appears to me that this entire group's history is relatively unknown to the surrounding city. What if that was leaked? Cause people here to garner interest in these individuals, get them attention that they certainly can't afford to have right now. Turn the city against them. Not only slow them down, but make them reach out in desperation.
He has a large smile that creeps across his face. That's a good idea, and I think a good way maybe... It doesn't necessarily... The leak... We want to sow distrust between them, and we want to make them fight each other. And I think that currently, Baron and Elemara are getting along a little too well. Baron's the hero of this city, so I don't think we'll be able to undermine him the same way, but maybe we put out a rumor about how he used to feel. Maybe we put out some of the truth. If some of the nobles finds out that he puts up her fingers in air quotes, a sand blood, we could start an incident at the party.
Yes. Oh, what if we put him on the moral? Yeah. What if we put him on the moral seesaw and make him choose between keeping his ally, but also embracing the fact that he's rooming with and working willingly with such a brutal desert monster? We force him to publicly denounce her at the ball when she's most vulnerable.
We'll see if he takes the bait, but I like it. His reputation means a lot to him. We'll see how far this will go.
I'm excited. I'll be there to be the comforting shoulder for the poor, debased woman. After all, I met her, and she seems pretty cool. This is just flicking the hair.
Remember, she, unless somehow you can convince her otherwise, is going to be dead with the rest of them. None of the prophecy members can survive.
I don't intend on doing anything besides use her as a way in. A mere pawn on the chessboard to get to the king piece.
Of course. Zaren's return is only just a small part. It's getting to undermine the rest of them. But good to hear that things are going. And Urzos still hasn't suspected a thing of you? Guard.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Good. Keep it that way.
You know, you'd almost feel bad if they weren't such, idiots. Demons.
Yes. It would feel bad if they weren't demons. He lets out a breathy smirk and just looks over and says, "Now leave before somebody catches anyone." Hops back over the fence.
I love my job. I love my job. She says as she leaves.
All right, so Dampmoss, Gilrock, Elemara, what are you gonna do before dinner, or should we cut to the after dinner conversation?
We should do things in event order. If something important's gonna happen during dinner. During din.
I don't think anything's gonna happen important during dinner. I mean, these guys are, I mean, unless you want to talk to them about what happened in the sewers, these guys are gonna come back.
Well, we'll say that we did tell them that at dinner anyway.
Okay.
I think I'm kind of gonna hit the sheets because I am very, very sleepy.
Okay, well then we'll cut there. That's a good place to stop for today.
Cool, we can convene in the living room with the bear rug and tell Rook and Farron exactly what our thoughts are next time.
Maybe next time Rook will be here.
Yes.
Yeah.
See you. Well, I want to say thank you again to my lovely players. They always make me have a fun and interesting time. Casper hopefully doesn't fall asleep next time, but he still did a good job despite being blasted off his ass.
I'm not blasted off my ass. I'm just quite inebriated.
Says the guy who passed out less than an hour ago.
Okay.
John, you've seen me blasted off my ass. This is not it. Come on.
That's true, actually, yeah.
I'm scared to know what that would be.
It's a Scandinavian thing. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, we have, of course, we got Dampmoss, we got Casper, Chris got out. We'll find out. I hope he is doing all right. But yeah, thanks again to all my lovely players. Thank you, the viewers, for watching. Please remember, if you like and comment on the videos, you will be entered to win possibly this book or one of two others. These Pathfinder books. This is a very good one. Impossible Lands. Like and comment on the videos. That includes cast members right now. So Rob, if you want this book for free, you can like and comment on the video.
I'll go ahead and comment. Give me the damn book.
But that contest is still ongoing. I want to thank the artists who make Nightmares Incarnate, A Conspiracy to Demons possible, including Ivan Dudar. Principles 1212 has changed his name. He is now ITDIVGURG. I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize. Caribou, amongst many others. And of course, also Midjourney, 2-Minute Tabletop. And, there's just so much that goes into this show. A lot of effort from both the cast, and Casper in particular has been contributing a lot to the world building, so I just want to give him a quick shout out.
Hell yeah, clap, 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 clap.
And so that is it for this week, and we will see you next Wednesday. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.